denied. On the death of General Ogolla, the parliamentary group shared deep condolences with his family and the families of all those who perished together with him. Further, the PG called for a judicial inquest into the accident and death as opposed to mere investigation led by the military that is close to civilians. We also demand that families of the victims be independently represented in the investigation and inquest. I must hasten to add that we have authorized Honorable Anthony Oluoch and Senator Enoch Wamboa to lead a process of establishing a parliamentary inquiry, a joint parliamentary inquiry involving both the Senate and the National Assembly into the unfortunate death of General Ogolla. Already, we are seeing worrying signs. We have noted that Mr. Ruto set up a separate investigation team away from the one gazetted by its Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen in the Gazette notice dated 8th April 2024. On the economic circumstances, the PG takes the position that life remains unbearable for a greater majority of Kenyans, contrary to state-sponsored propaganda. The cost of food has come down. Kenyans are still struggling to put food on the table, pay school fees, access health care, pay house rent, and even bus fare. Kenyans are indeed worse off today than they were at this time last year and the year before. The PG therefore calls on the government to embark on steps that will drastically lower the cost of basic goods. Kenya Kwanza promised that unga would come down to Kenya shillings 100 or less per kilogram. Immediately the regime assumed power. We need that promise fulfilled. On nearly all these issues, the meeting came to the sad conclusion that as a country, we are dealing with an unprecedented case of corruption in government and state capture by people in and out of government. State capture and corruption are at the center of the problems we are grappling with as a people. From high taxes to low investments to provision of basic services like distribution of fertilizers. Looking at the budget cycle, this meeting was able to establish a clear case of laws being made with the sole aim of benefiting individuals and their businesses at the expense of the economy and the masses. On the case that featured prominently at this meeting, one case that featured prominently at this meeting is that of the Export and Investment Promotion Levy introduced in the Finance Act of 2023. As we warned, together with the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, this levy is killing manufacturing in the country by giving preferential treatment to specific businesses whose owners have captured the apparatus of the state and are using it for personal gain in complete disregard of public good. The levy on imported goods like steel and clinker is creating monopolies in steel and cement manufacturing at the expense of the public. Rather than boost local production, the levy is killing the same. It is killing jobs and it is making products like steel and cement extremely expensive. The mindset that gave birth to this levy is similar to the one that saw the government distribute fake fertilizer to our own farmers. These are manifestations of state capture and corruption at their worst. They are part of the problem that is making foreign firms lose out on businesses and contracts in Kenya because the top government officials are involved in corruption, including bribery and open kickbacks. It's becoming very clear that unless firms willing to pay bribes and those with political godfathers high up in government. It is becoming very clear that only firms willing to pay bribes and those with political godfathers high up in government will remain and thrive in Kenya, while others close shop or relocate to neighboring countries. This meeting has therefore strongly called on the government to repeal and abolish the Export and Investment Promotion Levy and also crack down on corruption within its ranks. The levy and the corruption that enabled it is making Kenya to lose investment from businesses and countries that do not participate in corrupt activities. Recently, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission listed the ministries of Interior, Health, and Transport as the most corrupt. The survey showed that the size of the average bribe doubled in 2023. This meeting has called on EACC to go beyond releasing surveys and swing into action. We need bold action to make corruption an expensive affair for businesses and public officers. The meeting concluded that the case of fake fertilizer being distributed to farmers by none other than the government of Kenya is an ideal place to begin showcasing our commitment to fighting runaway corruption and state capture as a country. The case of fake fertilizer is, in our view, a case of economic sabotage and must be treated as such. In other words, heads must roll. This is the end of the statement. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, honorable ladies and gentlemen.